Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, I want to talk to you guys about something that we've been working on in the Saturday class, and that is the idea of flexible weapons. Okay, so for improvised weapons training, and to me that is what the Eskrima that I teach is mainly about. That's the main idea here, is to be able to develop improvised weapon skills. In order to do that, I divide weapons into basically four categories. Number one is a blunt weapon. Number two is an edged weapon. So we're talking about like a short sword or a knife, a machete, tomahawk, something along those lines. Number three is a flexible weapon. So this is like a nunchuck, a chain, and then if we're talking about improvised weapons, it could be something like a t-shirt, right? And then number four, last but not least, is projectile weapons, where you actually throw the stick. Or if you have like a rock in your hand, you throw the rock. That's a projectile weapon. If you decide to hold the rock and not throw it and bash someone's head with it, then you're using it as a blunt weapon, right? So some weapons have multiple characteristics there. But those are the four, okay? So blunt, edged, flexible, and projectile. Okay, so four categories right there. And the hardest out of the four, is the flexible weapon category. You could just start with this X motion right there, and the next step is we gotta go to flexible weapons, right? We gotta do all the other ones that I talked about. And when you start training with improvised weapons, if you've never done like the Heaven 6 with two t-shirts, do it. Go experience it. If you've never done it with cups, okay, like a drinking cup or whatever, or a baseball cap, or a pen, flashlight, wrench, hammer. If you've never done it, I strongly suggest that you go try it, go experience it, so that if in a real life situation you need to, you know what it's like. It's not you're battling the unknown and you got to get used to it. No, you already know what to expect. You're comfortable with it, So, but before we get there, like I said, we start with the sticks and then use it as a blunt weapon. So you're doing the forms, boom, boom, as a blunt weapon. So I'm hitting stuff with it, right? The second one is I got to now imagine that this is a bladed weapon, and I got to imagine cutting, right? Number three is a flexible weapon. So once again, I have to imagine using it like it's a whip or some kind of chain or something along those lines. That's difficult for a lot of people. So at that point, actually I recommend get something like this. Okay, this is just a belt, all right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and just wrap it up a little bit like so, and get the belt like this, and now do exactly what we've been doing, which is the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, down, down, making that X, and you're gonna see that it's very, very different from the stick. It feels different, even though the motion, the technique, basically the same idea. So you're gonna do this and see what that feels like, and now you're gonna apply that feel to the stick. So now when you make that X, see, I'm now with the stick kind of doing it the same way. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 1, 2, boom. Here, boom, 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 boom. Using it like a flexible weapon. What's so great about this is when I have to use if I have to use a stick in actual combat, right? In real life self-defense. Doing this kind of training helps me go beyond the stick. So even though I have a blunt object, let's say it's a baton, a tactical baton, whatever I have in my hand, all right, and it's a blunt weapon, I'm using it as, I'll have the skills to be able to use it as an edged weapon, as a flexible weapon, and also if need be as a projectile weapon. So that's how you go beyond the actual weapon that it is. So it's kind of like a cheat. If you watch anyone that's really, really good with their skills, they go beyond that. You're watching them in amazement going, wow, man, they make it look like it's not just a Eskrima stick anymore. It almost looks like it's a nunchuck in their hands. Well, that's where this kind of training comes in, and that's what it helps you attain. So I hope that makes sense, and take care, folks.